Today I'm going to be preaching on a topic I titled Twisted but Present. Twisted but present. During the pandemic, during the real lockdown, even at now, you still see it on news, you watch it, that they are having series of interviews with people that have lined up, that have been waiting, that have been on the waiting list to be seen by a professional, by a specialist. People that have kidney problem, people that need heart transplant, name it. You see during this pandemic how serious it is that people desperately want to meet a specialist. And because of the pandemic, it has been delayed. And you see them get nervous. You see them get worried. And some of them even died in the course of waiting. And then it became a big deal that they have to start bringing this thing out like, this is not okay. These people need to see a specialist. These people need to see a doctor. A physical doctor. They did everything just to meet with a physical doctor. They are still doing everything just to have this appointment, to get this appointment, and they can't wait for that day to come to be in front of a specialist because they have a need, because it is urgent. It is a need that can only be met by that particular person in that particular area. And you watch them, you're like, whoa. And imagine somebody that have been on the waiting list for so long, and then finally you get appointment to meet this specialist that suppose knows what he or she's doing. And then you get there after long waiting in this pandemic. And then you're in front of the doctor and you can't even open up to him. And you're in front of this doctor and you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Are you sure you are really the right person I need to see? Are you sure I am safe? No, human beings have given you the description of the person you need to see. They've assigned somebody to you that this is the person you need to meet. When you get there, before you even get there, Seth, you started talking. They've handed your file. When you get there, you pour it all out. Because why? You're desperate to be helped. And now this is what saddens my heart. In the house of God, that people don't have this understanding that this is supposed to be a spiritual hospital. But the church has become a place where people come in and they still deal with their injury. They still deal with the things that they came in with. They still deal with the internal bleeding because they are afraid to pour it out. And they can't even talk to their leaders. They can't talk to... Nobody is to be trusted in the house of God. It is not supposed to be so. Because it is the very thing that the world couldn't give to you that make you come to Jesus. The world have no salvation to give. The world have no peace to give. The world have no joy to give. The world have no love to give. The world cannot transform. The world cannot bring back alive. Now that is why people leave the world and come to Jesus. That is why they rush to the house of God. That is why they surrender their old ways and say, I want to meet the one that can help me. But won't it be a shame that they give up everything looking for the one that can help them, and still in the presence of the one that can help them, some church folks won't just let them be. And this has become an issue in the church. And And that is why, as Mama was just saying before, that sometimes we carry baggages, born again, sanctified, speaking in tongues, and we don't see a change. Because we truly don't open up to the one that is able to help us. And we have been built in this way and in this manner that we have faked it too much because we don't trust people, and it has gotten Christians to this place that we don't even open up to God. We are not honest anymore. We have taken this identity of fakeness. We can't even show God. We can't take him to where we bury that thing. We can't show him where it hurts. And God can deal with everybody, but he cannot deal with somebody that is not real. Somebody that will not say, this is where it hurts. Sometimes God needs you to take him to the grave. Like he told the sister of Lazarus, said, take me there. Why did you bury him? And we can't even take God to that place because we've classified God to even be our pastor that joined to make that thing worse. Our choir mistress, that deaconess, that church member, that best friend, that sister. We've classified God to be that, and God is like, listen, I am the only authentic thing. Don't mistake me for them. Because if humans, we go through that much problem, that much journey, that much stress to meet with a physical physician, why aren't we eager to come to the house of God? Why aren't we eager to meet with the best physician? Why aren't we eager to meet with Dr. Jesus? And life and church folks will do everything to push you out of the presence of the one that have the power to fix you. And when we talked about mega mercy, we said, come to his presence at this very time that you need grace, this very time where you need help, this very time when you need mercy, this time when you feel weak, this is the very time you need a doctor. This is the very time you need Dr. Jesus. The topic is twisted but present. What I want to talk about today is, do not let nobody stop you from coming to Dr. Jesus. Because anytime you come with him, he knows exactly how to meet your need. He knows exactly where you are. He just needs you to come to be present. Anytime you find your place to the mercy seat, he knows exactly. He has just been waiting for you to come. Yes, with all of those things that you're struggling with, he knows and he's saying, you just come. Luke 13, 10 to 13. Talking about Jesus. He was teaching in one of the meetings. One translation says in the synagogue. So in the church. Let's put it that way. On the Sabbath, there was a woman present. He was teaching in the synagogue. In one of the meetings, there was a woman present, so twisted, bent over with arthritis that she couldn't even look up. She was bent over. She was twisted. She couldn't look up, but she was present. Her affliction didn't keep her away from coming to sit in the presence of the Master. Her affliction didn't keep her away from coming to listen to Jesus' teaching. Her affliction did not keep her away from church. She was present, twisted, bent over. The Message translation, the TPT said, crippled. That situation had crippled her. But she was present. She was there. are just some things you say, well, I'll sit in my house and I'm just going to pray and God sees my heart. You're joking. God has given that word that you must not forsake the gathering of the saints. He knows what they say. You can't sit in your house and tell God how he wants to meet you. So after you've waited for that appointment in this pandemic, then you tell the person that is giving the appointment, I don't know, can the doctor meet me in so place? My friend, wherever they ask you to meet that doctor, come on, let's use physical things to explain spiritual things. Wherever they tell you to meet that doctor, you make time and show up. Why? Because you need a fix. So, but we tell God, I want to sit home. I want to go wherever I feel like going. I want to go where it's happening. Just because it's trendy and it's popular don't mean that God is in it. Just because it looks like it's working for them don't mean like it will work for you. If God is not at the center of it, or if God hasn't sent you there, you are wasting your time. And then we have allowed the same people that are supposed to open their hands for us to come into the house of God so that we get fit. We allow these people to push us back into the very place where we're coming from, where we have been crippled, and we want to tell God, I am not going anymore, because they will laugh at me, because they know how many years I've been in this place, because they know what is going on with me. Lord, I'm going to go back to my house. I'm just going to crawl into my bed. Well, Father, if you are merciful, you meet me there. There are rules and regulations. There are kingdom rules that govern the promises of God. You just can't spin around and grab it. You just can't cry and grab it. You just can't put on your makeup and grab it. There are some things that God tells you, you go this way, I go with you. You don't go, it doesn't happen. She was twisted, but she was present. So because she was in that meeting to meet Jesus, probably she heard that this man will be here. She said, I will miss this meeting. Because you never know when God will meet you. You never know. You never know. Most of the churches where I've served back in Europe, I always used to be the choir mistress. Sometimes purposely, yes, this is the truth. Sometimes purposely, people will just decide not to show up on time. Even the people that you are grooming, the people that you are helping, your own choir members, they'll say, so let her be doing it. We'll show up when we want to show up. I would take the mic, me, myself, and that's why nobody can hook me and say, I won't play the instrument. You are joking, because when I take the mic, I'll sing my ribs out. Because I know the one that I've come to meet. I would take the mic and sing like I'm singing to thousands, because you are not the one that I've come to meet. I know where it hurts. I know where I need a fix. Why do I care whether you show up or not? Why do I care whether you lift your hand or not? I know my packages. I know where I need Jesus to meet me. And I know the one that have given me appointment. So anytime there is a meeting, I just show up. For me. Because I need a fix. She was bent over, twisted, afflicted, but she was present. He said that she couldn't even look up. She had been afflicted with this for 18 years. She kept showing up. When Jesus saw her, because she was present, Jesus saw her. He called her over. Woman, you are free. He laid hands on her, and suddenly she was standing straight and tall, giving glory to God. Suddenly she was standing straight and tall because she met with the fixer. Look at what the TPT say. He said, one Sabbath day while Jesus was teaching the synagogue, he encountered a seriously handicapped woman. She was crippled and had been doubled over for 18 years. Her condition was caused by a demonic spirit of bondage that had left her unable to stand up straight. When Jesus saw her condition, he called her to him and gently laid his hand on her. Then he said, dear woman, you are free. I release you forever from this crippling spirit. Instantly she stood straight and tall and overflow with glorious praise to God. She was handicapped, doubled over for 18 years, crippled. When we say people are crippled, we think, oh, they can't walk. You drag them in. There are many areas in our life where life can cripple us. There are so many ways we can experience crippling. And the one that has the power to put an end to every spirit of crippling is Jesus. That spirit that have left you crippled in any area of your life, the only one that can fix it is Jesus. The woman was present. She came in with all her everything in the synagogue. Nobody could save her, nobody could help her, but she was still coming present. I guess she thought by herself, one day I will meet with this man. And yes, she was there that day. She couldn't stand straight. She couldn't look up, the Bible says. But she was present. God knows what you cannot do. God knows your limitation. He knows exactly where you need a fix. She couldn't look up. She couldn't look straight. She was not the only one there. But she was the one that just because she could not look up, she couldn't really see, but she was present and she knew, I don't have to because I already know me. I don't have to and ask myself that I'm here because they already know that I'm crippled. Yes, that I've been bent over for 18 years. I just have to show up, and this is the one that is almighty. He'll see me. As long as I'm present. Pandemic has made many people to leave the house of God. Pandemic has made them to leave their place of service. You are no more present, and you expect to be seen by Jesus. You are joking. You are no more in the synagogue and you say, Father, meet me so place. It's not your boy that you say, meet me here, meet me there. I see you in Nando's. I see you in that Chinese shop. Excuse me. She was present in the synagogue. She couldn't look up, but she was there. She had limitations, but she was there. She had her packages, but she was there. And the master saw her and called her and said, woman, you have been set free. The Bible said immediately she stood straight. Affliction of 18 years was removed just like that. Why? Because she met with Dr. Fixer. Because she met with Jesus. Because she had an encounter with Jesus. Immediately, he was taken away. This is the place where you get your spiritual chemo. This is the place where you get your spiritual injection. This is the place where you get your spiritual boost. It is in the presence of God. Do not let nothing take you away from his presence. Do not let your job, do not let the naysay of people, do not let the babbling of chickens that have decided that they don't want to spread your wings. Do not let them stop you. Do not let the things that you see stop you. Do not let the images that you see on social media stop you. Do not let the things that your family have concluded stop you. Do not let the way that they see it stop you from coming to the presence of this fixer, because he knows how to fix everything. He's the one that has been given the authority to fix. So why will I let you take me away from his presence? The only hope I have to get a spiritual chemo may not happen for me straight away, but I know as I keep showing up, I'm getting a feel every time. And one day, God help the devil, it will come to a place where I overflow. Oh yes, as I begin to get that feeling day in, day out, every time I show up in the presence of God. See, God is not a God that calls meeting and don't do what he would do. Every time we appear in his presence, every time we come closer to him, we get a feel. And to get to a place of overflow, you must start from pouring in little. People don't want to start from pouring little. They just want a blow. I want to blow. They don't want to do nothing. I just want to blow. But this is the presence of God, where he gives you the chemo, that chemotherapy, little by little. As you keep showing up for every session, he keeps filling you until you get to a place of overflow, until you get to a place of wholeness. Do not let nobody talk you out of the place. The very place where you get your feeling, the very source of your peace. The only guarantee that you have to see tomorrow is Jesus. He will not meet you where he did not send you. He will not meet you where you want him to meet you. There is a place. There is a destination. There is a particular location that he has said, this is where I will meet you. If you refuse to show up because brother, that one is there, sister, that is there, because that one helped me, you are wasting your time. She was bent over, but she showed up. Twisted, but she showed up. Hebrews 7, 18 to 26, the TPT translation. Hebrews 7, 18 to 26. It said, the old order of priesthood has been set aside as weak and powerless. The things that used to hold you bound. The law. The very list of long list that you need to keep. All the burden, all of those things that you thought had power over you. When he died, when he went on that way, Golgotha, when he carried that cross and walked that walk for you, when he hung himself there, allowed himself, humbled himself for them to do whatever they needed to do, when he allowed himself to be spat on, he did not lift a finger, he did not call angels from him. When he went through that road, he made the power of the law weak, irrelevant. He made the power of the things that held you back powerless. He made the power of those things to become non-effective because of the cross. He said, for the law has nothing, has never made anyone perfect. The law has never made anyone perfect. Never. So stop trying to play church. Come to the fixer. Stop trying to do it by yourself. But in its place is a far better hope, which gives us confidence to experience intimacy with God. And he confirmed it to us with his solemn vow. For the former priests took their office without an oath. But with Jesus, God affirmed his royal priesthood with his promise, saying, the Lord has made a solemn oath and will never change his mind. You are a king, priest forever. And if you and I believe that Christ lives in us, that this Christ that died on the cross, we carry his DNA, that he now dwells in us, that the life we live now, we live not by our own faith, not by works, not by anything, but because of what he has done on the cross. He lives and he dwells in us. It means we are king, priest forever. You are not boasting when you said, I'm a king. You are not boasting when you say, I'm a queen. You are not boasting when you say, I belong to the royal family. Because he has declared Jesus. He said, you are king forever. God affirmed him and said, this one is real. This one is authentic. He says, so all of this magnifies the truth that we have a superior covenant. Superior means it's above everything. With God, and that what they experience for Jesus himself is its guarantor. The one that they used to keep goats and ram and all those things. Say, no. Say, we have a superior one. The reason is because Jesus himself is the guarantor. The one that bled, the one that gave his life is the guarantor. As addition proof, We know there were many priests under the old system, for they eventually died, and their office had to be filled by another, and this one died, the other one take over. If you read the Old Testament, and the other one died, and they don't talk about the successor, and the other one died, but nobody could replace this one. He made a sacrifice once and for all. Seated on the throne, he rules and reigns forever. Given the name above every other name, his name is Jesus, Master Monarch of the universe. Nobody can take his place. Nobody can replace him. There's nothing to vote out. There is no Jesus Jr. to take over. Ashana Makoro Debo. And Solomon became king. No. This one is king forever. He is the king that is forever. No, they're not successor. No junior Jesus. Ashada Baroseteya. He said, but Jesus permanently hold his priestly office. The other ones, they replaced them when they died. Okay. Moses died. Joshua, you are to take over. No, nobody's taking over. This one is Christ. He said, Jesus permanently hold his priestly office. Don't understand. Papa will say, you don't understand. Since he lives forever and we never have a successor, it is something to glory about. He will never have a successor. He said, so, listen to this. This is where I am taking you. Don't miss this. Don't miss this one. 25. He said, so, he is able to save fully now throughout eternity everyone who comes to God through him. Because he lives to pray continually for them. He's able to save everyone who comes to him. You must come. I don't care how wounded, messed up, jacked up, that you are broken. You must come. It is not an excuse. He is able to, because he don't have any successor, he's always there continually praying for you. At your service, come on. Hey, he said, everyone who comes to God through him, because he lives to pray continually for them. Look at 26. He said he is the high priest who perfectly fits our needs. I went through different translations. I love this one. That's why I took this. Who perfectly fits our needs. He knows. He knows exactly how to. He will not miss. Physical doctor can make mistake. Person is gone. They will say, we will pay. They will do this. But God cannot make mistake. Jesus will not make mistake. Right. Who perfectly fits our need, wholly without a trace of evil, without ability to deceive, incapable of sin, and exalted above the heavens. Look at that. He cannot deceive, no trace of evil, without the ability to deceive. So don't mistake Jesus for your best friend that deceived you. Don't mistake Jesus for your husband that left you wounded. Don't mistake Jesus for the woman that left you broken. Don't mistake Jesus for the family member that abandoned you. Don't mistake him for that person that tricked you. Don't mistake him for that pastor that you thought you served and you believed in him, because we make mistake. We think we come for pastor. Jesus at the center of it. Your pastor is human. Don't mistake Jesus for your pastor that is imperfect. Oh, he's without evil, no trace of evil. He cannot deceive. Exalted above the heavens. He said, if you will come, this one has been given authority. This one has been handed over what you need. He knows exactly how to fix it. But you need to come. You need to show up wounded and broken. You need to show up even feeling ashamed. That's fine, come. Because it's only the one that is sick that needs a doctor. You must show up. Because it doesn't matter how many packages that you drag. It doesn't matter how bad it looks like. When it is time for God to meet you, he will move heaven and earth to see you. He will calm the storm to be with you. He will speak to raging waters to be with you. Legions couldn't hold him from meeting the madman gathering. He set his mind and said, just for one person, but I'm going. I got to take care of some legions here. They went joking, told the disciples, we're going. We're going to the other side. Because somebody has made up his mind to beat me. The man that was the one that came to Jesus. Oh. See, I have seen somebody that is hunger for me. I have seen somebody that is thirsty. I have seen somebody that has made up his mind that Jesus, you are nothing. I don't have a second option. It is either you or nothing. Standing in your presence, not my father, not my mother, not my husband, not my children, not my sibling. It is me, Jesus, that have come home. Say, I've seen somebody that has made up his mind. Let us read that scripture. Let us read it. I want to show you some things from here. Mark 5, 1 to 15. I want to show you. This is the last scripture we're reading. Mark 5, 1 to 15. It says, and they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of Gadarene. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tomb a man with an unclean spirit. The man came to meet him with an unclean spirit. That's fine. He came with legions living in him. He came. Why? 3. He said, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Because that he has been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains has been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters has broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. No man could tame him. No man could help him. No man could set him free. No man could calm him. No man could give him the right medication. It was that bad for a human being to live the living and be living among the dead. It is bad. To live a place of communication and isolate himself in the tomb, in the place of the dead, it is bad. But let us look at it in our time. Life has isolated so many of us. We show up with our makeup. We show up with our suits. But we are not really present among the living. We are living among corpses. We are carrying along dead things. We don't trust nobody. We don't want to open to nobody. We build walls of defense because of what has happened to us. Nobody can help us. We can go out. They can come in because we have built walls. We are living in terms. They can't reach us. We can't reach them. We can't communicate effectively. And a place where there's no communication, we don't even know what is happening, not to talk of giving solutions. So this man found himself in a place of no communication because life has pushed him to that place where he has lost trust in people. Mad, insane, all by himself, living in the tomb. And he thought, this is where I need to be right now. Because nobody in my community, nobody in this village understand me. Nobody in this village knows exactly where I need a fix. Nobody in this village have the right thing to free me from this legion. Nobody understood what he was going through. They just thought he's a madman. He was not a madman. He was a man that was possessed by legions that took over him. And there are things that have taken over us, even as children of God, that if we don't come to the presence of the fixer, you will remain bound by those things. You remain controlled by those things. You remain pushed around by those things. I tell people, I say, you gotta boss this thing. Boss it. Boss it. Because God has given you ability to stand above this thing. But we carry around legions, hate, bitterness, unforgiveness. You're saying, these are spirit. We carry them around. And these things overwhelms us. And we find ourselves in a place of isolation where no human being can help us. This is a place where you gotta fix at his feet. 5. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him. He had sense enough, possessed with legions. One translation says, we are mobs because we have many of us living in this body. It was not their body. They invaded the body of this man. I don't know whatever has invaded your body. I don't know whatever has invaded your mind. I don't know whatever has taken possession of your home. But the Lord is saying on this day, if you will come and meet me in the place where I've given you appointment, if you will show up with all of those things, I will send these legions packing. I will send all of these things, chase them out of your life. If only you will come. You are not going to have it your way. These are legions that made business. They possessed and they invaded and possessed the body of this man. And he became insane. How many of us walk around looking cute, but one wrong body, somebody will know that you are a madman dressed up. When you will display, they will know that this one is not well. How many of us? Life has turned so many of us to become that person. But he came. Immediately saw Jesus afar. He came with all of those things, even with all of those legions. That person that God has originally created, that person that God has made appointment with that day, said, Jesus said, I am coming to meet this man. The Lord caused it that there was sense that arose in that man that day and said, this is the one that has come for me. This appointment is for me. The legions could not stop him. That's what I'm going. The demons could not stop him. The things that held him back could not stop him from meeting Jesus, just like the woman twisted but present. All of those things could not hold him back. There was no excuse. I have been living in the town for so long. I am a madman. I smell. I have not done my hair. I have smelly clothes. My clothes are torn. I have been cutting myself wounded because the Bible says he cut himself. I'm carrying all this bleeding with me. I don't think I can show up in the presence of this one. He carried himself with all of those things. There was no excuse. Why? Because he knew this is the one that is able to fix me. He came rushing to Jesus. He came and worship. If the legions had power, do you think they would allow that man to come and meet Jesus, the fixer? No. So it's a trick of the devil to make you think that that thing is too powerful. This thing has kept me in this position for 18 years, for 30 so years, for 40, for 20, for this. I don't think I will be free. No, they don't have the power. When your appointed time comes, and you are standing face to face with Jesus, you get the fix that you need. You get the change that you need. You get the transformation that you need. And he said, and he cried with a loud voice and said, what have I to do with thee, Jesus, that Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. The legions in him started speaking. But this man dragged all the legions and said, you are heavy. You have held me bound for too long. You are coming to the one that is able to chase you out. He dragged all of them, and we are all coming to meet this Jesus. Today, my body is going to be set free. My mind is going to be set free. My spirit is going to be released from every bondage of madness. He had enough sense to say, I am carrying all of these legions. You have carried me for too long. You have bossed me for too long. Unforgiveness, you have pushed me for too long. Anger, you have possessed my mind for too long. I have lost so many things with this thing. This spirit this lust that I cannot control myself. You have put me in trouble for too long. I am going in presence of the one that is able to set me free from whatever it is that has held me back. He said, we are going. And the demons cried out, have you come to torment us? For he said unto them, come out of the man that is unclean. Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And they asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountain a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, send us unto the swine that we may enter into them. And forthwith Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirit went out and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently to steep place into the sea. They were about 2,000. And we are choked in the sea. God is about to choke that thing if you will show up. God is about to drown that thing if you will have enough courage and boldness to show up. Look at that. Look at that. Let me give you the number. He said there were about 2,000 that these legions entered. So there were many that possessed one body. But in the presence of the fixer, in the presence of the physician, one word, he said, come out. Come out of this body. They went running. And they saw it and told, 14, sorry. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what it was that was done. And they came to Jesus and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion, sitting and clothed in his right mind, and they were afraid. Look at what the Message translation says, that verse 15. He said they came up to Jesus and saw the madman sitting, wearing decent clothes and making sense. No longer a walking madhouse of a man. He was not making sense. It means before nobody could understand it. Of course, that's why he was not living anymore in the land of the living. He decided to live in the tomb where nobody don't need to talk to anybody, nobody needs to talk back. He was not making sense. They saw him at the feet of Jesus. He said, no longer a walking madhouse of a man. So they used to call him, this one is a house of madman. Look at him. A walking madhouse of a man. That's what they called him. But when he met with Jesus, he said, no longer. You see the reason why they are keeping you away from the presence of God. You see the reason why life is pushing you up and down. You see the reason why discouragement, you can't seem to shake it off. The reason why people just keep irritating you, annoying you. The reason why people won't just let you be. Some people that have been anointed are ordained by the devil himself. The reason why they won't just let you be, because they understand that whatever it is that life has labeled you, whatever it is that they call you now, however it is that they describe your situation that you are going through, your challenge, they know that the moment you get face to face with Jesus, the moment you show up for the appointment, the moment they call a meeting, you are first to be there. The moment that you mean business with Jesus, the moment that you take up your cross and follow Jesus, the moment that you get enough sense to say, this is the place where I need to be at his feet, they know that that thing that they have attached to you and that name that they have labeled you will be erased. The Bible says, no longer a walking man, that's no longer. He was fixed by the master. He was fixed by the one who rose up. He was fixed by the merciful king. His identity changed and it started to make sense. It looks like now that you are nobody. It looks like now that you don't fit in. It looks like now, right now, that you don't really amount to their level. It looks right now that you don't have it all. It looks right now that there is nothing to write about you. How it's looking right now is looking helpless, ugly, twisted, bent over, crippled. But darling, child of God, I'm here to announce to you, the only person that can fix this thing, the only person that can give you a new identity, the only person that can remove that tag, it is Jesus. However it looks like, legions could not stop him. Legions hearken to the voice of Jesus. Jesus has given enough and too much over and over again to redeem you, to give you another chance, to say you have been bought by a price. Come over and over again. He's pulling you out of that thing. He's telling you, I still the storm to be with you. I spoke to the waves to be here. I have come to this territory just because of you. I have come to this city just because of you. You're not going to show up? Is it too much to show up? You're not going to be present? Because you think you have legions, you have all of this thing working against you. I did all of this to come here for you. Because I think you are worth it. I went on the cross just for you. I paid the price just for you. I gave all of this. Is it too much to show up? What is your excuse? The woman showed up. The madman dragged himself to Jesus. The crippled man, the friends brought him to Jesus on the mat, but they said, we're going to show up. Guy, don't worry, just lie down, we'll bring you there. Yes, you're going to show up in the mat, but you're going to get up walking when you meet with Jesus. What is your excuse? How ugly is that thing? What has come over you that you think cannot get out? That you think is too much for somebody to fix? It is not too much for Jesus. And Jesus is calling you this day and say, if you will show up, if you will make business with me, if you will stop looking at people, this is the reason why I'm not coming to church, this is what they did, this is what they did. If you will stop all of this excuse, because the power to do this thing, the power to give you this thing, the ability to get you to this place where you so desire is in my hands. But how will I give you when you are far away? If I really want to hand something over to you and I'm holding it, and you are standing there at the back of the church and I'm saying, take it, come take it. You are stretching your hand from there. It doesn't work. You need to walk up to me to take that thing. There are things that have been stored for us. There are things that have been set aside for us. There is a place that has been allocated for you. There is a promise that is hanging over your head. It is yours, but you just need to pull it down. All you need to do is show up. Show up. Make business with Jesus. Accept him fully. Rededicate your life. Do whatever you need to do to be in his presence. Not for anybody, but for yourself. You are the one that need a change. You are the one that need a shift. You are the one that need a shoot. I told the lady yesterday, I said, God said it's not going to be a shift, it's going to be a shoot. You are the one that need that transformation. And it is in the hand of the Master, Dr. Jesus, who is the fixer. Oh, I double dare you this day to set aside everything and come just the way you are. He will not deceive you like them. He will not lie to you like them. It is not in his nature to pull back and say the road is too long, the journey is rough and rugged, I can't do this. It's not in his nature. He will even go ahead of you to make crooked way straight. He knows where he has promised that you will go, and he goes ahead of you to set the table for you. Won't you show up? Won't you show up and be present when the party has been set for you? And I pray for everyone listening to me now, that God will give you a heart to digest, to process and digest that this is not that. Jesus is not them. My prayer is that you understand this, because the moment you get an understanding that, hold on, Papa said something to me, I think it was this morning when we were getting ready, he said, Jesus is my only secret keeper. I don't know who has let all of your business out there, but Jesus is a secret keeper. With him you're safe. I know it has been tough and rough, but with him you're safe. I pray for you today that you will find safety in the arms of your Father. That you will run to the cross, the place where you will not be ashamed. The place where you will not be condemned. The place where condemnation has even been drowned in the sea of mercy. Hey! Ayadabo. The place where grace have taken a seat and say, yes, you can do it. I empower you to be the best version of yourself. I empower you to bounce back. I empower you to do it again, but this time do it with me. I empower you to encroach territories. I empower you to burst this thing that has kept you on this mat for so long. Because my desire for you when I went to the cross, my desire when I died for you, was for you to be boss over this thing. Because I am the monarch of the universe. And if I be your father, these legions have no power over you no more. If I be your father, this anger have no power over you no more. If I be your maker, this spirit, this infirmity can no more hold you back. I am your father and I am calling you, come and take and enjoy your inheritance, because this is a place and a position that is for you. Don't let life fool you. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Do not let nobody make you feel otherwise. Don't let nobody talk out of your spot because of the packages. Wounded, broken, twisted. You are still a king, you are still a queen. Just show up.